So first up, we're excited to kick off GeoTalks with Patrick Cunningham, the president and CEO of Blue Marble Geographics. Patrick will be speaking about closing the book on year 30 and looking beyond. Good morning, Patrick. How are you this morning?
Good morning. How are you? How are you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Well.
Excellent.
Thanks
Yeah,
for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm always excited to join in for GeoTalks. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes, we can see your screen. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, again, I would like to say welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining us once again for another GeoTalks. I'm just going to say a few opening remarks, kind of set the tone for the day, and then get out of the way so that you all can hear from our list of great speakers and presenters. It's really awesome to be able to do GeoTalks every year. I'm not sure how many we've done now, but it's been going on for quite a while. So it's just something that our customers, our users, I think find to be very helpful and interesting. We always have great attendance, whether it's in person or virtual. So we're, very happy that you all take the time out of your busy day to join us. And this is something for you, the user, for you, the customer, maybe the new customer trying to learn about our software or something about what Blue Marble does. So please take advantage of everything that we're presenting today. Take some time to, I encourage you to put down your devices and to focus on the GeoTalks screen if you can, and really take advantage of everything that's being offered here today, not just from Blue Marble employees. We're going to be doing a variety of presentations and technical talks, but also from our users. We have some really great user presentations today. We have a presentation on mapping tree density for wildfire management, which is really interesting. I think that's with LiDAR data. We have some dam break analysis using Global Mapper. I believe that's more on the raster side of things, don't quote me. And some mine rehabilitation for environmentally sensitive areas, processing data and looking at that analysis in our software. And then we have Michael Dennis from NOAA, who's going to be presenting on the next generation of state plane coordinate transformation and what's going on with NOAA and all that they do there from the National Geodetic Survey side of things. So just a great list of user talks there. So I really encourage you to take advantage of all that we have going on today. I have to take a look back at our 2023 and our 30 years in business. That's what we recognized in 2023. You can read my little logo. I don't know if you can see that, but we really tried to celebrate that accomplishment the past year, and we did that with various promotions and social media walk down memory lane type things. And we can't believe that we've been so fortunate to be in business so long as a software company, and a software company out of Maine. It's really a kind of a unique perspective, but if you look back at some of the other GIS software companies that have come out of Maine, the services companies, there's been a host of them that have been very successful. And that goes back to our history of forestry management and survey, and we just have a great GIS and technical community that folks may not always be aware of in Maine. So it's been really just a fun year to recognize that accomplishment of 30 years in business. And we believe that it helps to invigorate us and focus us on our next chapter with renewed enthusiasm and strength. This is a screenshot from one of our summer all-company meetings where we met at a cider house in central Maine called Absalom's Cider. It's just a great little place. I encourage you to look it up, maybe check it out. So looking back at 2023, as I said, we celebrated 30 years in business. We traveled the globe really with just a way we haven't done since before the pandemic. My point here is that we were back really at the level that we had been pre-pandemic. So we went to all the US-based regular trade shows that you hear about for geospatial, like GeoInt and GeoWeek, and many drone shows like AUVSI Exponential and others. Along with that, we hit the road internationally and visited GeoConnect Asia and Singapore, and Locate 23 in Australia, and had a lot of customer visits in Australia. And then CPSI Expo in Japan. I believe that may have been our first trade show in Japan that we were able to visit. So that was really great with our partners Mirakuru. And then of course Intergeo in Germany, which is just, I highly recommend visiting that trade show. It's such a great trade show. And Go Geomatics in Canada, and just other places around the world. And this also included in-person training, getting back to in-person training and workshops. We do a lot of that now virtually. That's an accepted paradigm, and our customers and users seem to be very comfortable with that as far as the flexibility of scheduling training and doing our online training. But you know, we still are available to do in-person training. We feel that there's a lot of value with in-person education. So we will be doing more of that in 2024, and you certainly are welcome to reach out and schedule that for yourself if you'd like. And then we actually, though, to that point about virtual training, did launch a self-guided training site. David McKittrick, our lead trainer, led the charge with that. And now on Blue Marble Training, there is some great intro courses to Global Mapper and Calculator. And these are intended to be a primer for those that are joining our training, but maybe are brand new to the software, because we have a lot of different users that join our trainings and they're at different levels. So we really encourage you to take advantage of the self-guided training modules. They're free. So visit Blue Marble Training to check that out. And we hope that you find that really useful, and we'll be doing more of that in the coming year. Of course, we released many updates to the software, as we always do. We have a very active development cycle, and we release multiple updates to the desktop software throughout the year, both Calculator and Global Mapper. We have minor releases and major releases every year, and we also, of course, update all the SDKs, GeoCalc and Global Mapper SDK, and our Global Mapper mobile software too. Some of those updates include tons of updates to pixels to points, including a wizard to guide users, and I feel like I may have slipped the slide here, so I'm just going to check something out here. Yes. So we did tons of updates for pixels to points. We added a wizard to help guide users to set up their data properly. And I encourage you to look at that if you have been using pixels to points. This might help you to get better results with your data. We've also been working on the speed and the quality of the output for the data. So we put a lot into that part of the software this year. That's Pixels to Points is our drone and UAV imagery processing tool, and it's part of Global Mapper Pro. We also have done a lot of updates to Global Mapper Mobile around field data collection. So we've added tools for working in the field and sharing and managing your data back into the desktop app. So there's an interface now in Global Mapper that helps to manage all that field data collection process and data. So we encourage you to check that out. Global Mapper Mobile is a free download for iOS and Android. So if you have the desktop, you should check that out. There is, of course, a pro upgrade for more of the powerful features. We also added a great tool that I think is really appropriate around categorizing obstructions for water flow analysis. And Global Mapper has a host of tools that are really great for modeling water flow, watersheds, coastal storms, and sea level rise, and all that management of data around so much of the sea level rise and coastal storm issues that has been really prevalent for us here in Maine right now this winter, and I know that is around the world an issue for everyone. So this is a new tool focused on water flow analysis, but I would encourage you to look at Global Mapper for a host of those type of functions if you haven't yet. This update is really quite a big update, and I believe our Global Mapper product manager, Jeff Hatzel, is going to be going more in depth in this later in the day. If I misspoke on that, I apologize, but I think that's what's on the agenda. So we updated our automatic LiDAR classification dialogues. That's for things like ground and vegetation and buildings. And if you remember, those were kind of separate tools, separate dialogues. Well, with the enhancement to classification processing around segmentation and the new training features that we have available for LiDAR data, we decided to combine all those automatic classification tools into one interface. So there's a new interface for that in Pro. And if you haven't upgraded, you haven't seen that yet, you should see it. It's not only a great enhancement to that workflow, but as I said, it adds the new feature to train LiDAR data to find objects that you can custom classify. So I believe that Jeff will be showing you something on finding airplanes, defining what an airplane is in a point cloud and then searching for it. He may have other workflows he'll be showing. There's so much that can be done there. We're really excited to see how our users will take advantage of it, and we would love to hear from you on what you're finding when you start to train LiDAR data with the latest version of Global Mapper Pro. And of course, we did our updates to Geographic Calculator, and this usually includes adding more transformations and data processing around coordinate systems, of course, and it's very user driven. So if there's something that you need, we're looking to hear from you, and we certainly will add it. We heard from users this year that we're looking for some dynamic transformations for Canada and New Zealand. So those are in the latest version of Geographic Calculator. And there's a host of new features and functions that we'll be talking about later on Calculator. So that slide I had where I showed the road, I put out of order, I apologize. But moving on to talk about what's coming in 2024. My first slide here is about Geographic Calculator again, and it's our release of our online calculator. So our cloud-hosted Geographic Calculator. We're gearing up to release that this year in Q3 or Q4, and we're very excited to share that with all of you. So this will enable your easy usage of Calculator anywhere you need it, from any desktop or even in the field on mobile. It's not going to be a complete feature match to all of the jobs, but the main jobs of point-to-point, point database, and vector file translation with in-depth and powerful coordinate transformation will all be available in Geographic Calculator online. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be a complementary companion to the desktop, and we envision just expanding the feature set and workflows around cloud processing for coordinate transformation in the future. So we're really excited about this, and of course it will have a flexible subscription purchase model, so that will be a new dynamic for our users. So look for that, watch for that release. It's something that we're really pumped for. Of course, in Global Mapper Pro, we're going to continue to enhance our training tools around LiDAR and other types of data, and we're even working in the shop on machine learning processing for Global Mapper. So that will be something that possibly you should see in alpha in 2024, but certainly by 2025 we'll have machine learning processing available for Global Mapper Pro, and very excited to share that with all of you. As I mentioned earlier, the self-guided training website and modules, they are already available now, and we're going to continue working on that and adding new modules for areas of training that we hear requests for, but we can't always get to in our public training classes. So those will be available. You'll be able to use them and purchase them online at your own pace, at your own time. And so, follow us for more information on that as those releases are coming. Hopefully by the end of Q2, I think we're shooting for. Don't quote me on that. And in 2024, of course, we'll be continuing with our releases and updates to our desktop software and developer toolkits with a host of new features and functions. And again, I say this all the time, but it is user-driven software development. We've always hung our hat on that phrase. And what that means is we want to hear from you. We want to know what you like, what you want to see more of, maybe something that we could improve, or maybe something that's missing. So please reach out to us and let us know. And you might ask, what's the best way to do that? Well, certainly you can email directly any Blue Marble employee that you work with. You could also email geohelp@bluemarblegeo.com. Or if you would like, you can also join our beta list. I call this the QA sagas. This was a slide that our head of testing and QA, Stephanie, made at one of our company meetings, and I think that it just shows how much fun they have and what a great team we have on our QA and testing group. So if you haven't joined our beta list, if you haven't participated in betas, you don't know what you're missing. And I really want to encourage you to help us test our calculator online release. We will need to hear from you. We need folks to test our software and look for more information on being a Blue Marble beta tester this year. We're going to try to have some incentives available and make it fun and exciting, and see if you have what it takes to help us beta test, because we certainly want to hear from you. So thank you so much. Thank you, Cynthia and Meg, for leading the charge with GeoTalks again. That's all I have for today.
Thank you,
again,
Patrick.
I hope that everybody really takes advantage of all our great speakers and asks a lot of questions and stays engaged. So.
No, I appreciate that, and we are really excited for today and also for the year ahead of us. There's just so much excitement, so many fun and important projects that we're working on, and as the marketing director, I can't wait to share all this good stuff that we're really proud to be working on with all of you, our users. Nice. And potential new friends. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much. Enjoy.